Okay, so you guys are going to take notes and I'm going to answer the fill in the blank questions that are on the notes that I passed out to you. So the first one is going to be lesson 4 and it's 2 pages. If you feel as though this video is going too fast, then you can always pause it and rewind it. Maybe watch it once without writing anything down, and then the second time you can go back and fill in your notes. But let's get started. So, an inequality is a mathematical sentence that shows the relationship between two quantities that are not equal, or they may not be equal. So rather than having an equation where we have them set equal to one another, 4x equals 16, we would say something such as 4x is less than 16 or greater than 16. So we're going to start using our greater than, less than symbols. So a mathematical sentence that shows the relationship between quantities that are not equal. Now, an algebraic inequality is an equality that contains a variable. So we are going to solve equalities where we actually have a variable, x, y, n. A solution set is the set of values that make a statement true. So those are going to be our answers, and there is probably going to be more than one answer, because if our inequality is set less than or greater than a number, then obviously there's going to be more than one numeric value that's going to make that true. And we'll look at that in a minute. And a compound inequality is a combination of more than one inequality. So such as if something is less than 5 but greater than 7, that would be a compound inequality, and we're going to look at what that looks like also. So write an inequality for each situation. There are at least 15 people in the waiting room. So the number in the people in the waiting room is going to be greater than or equal to. So when something says at least, it means greater than or equal to. And that's the symbol that you're going to use. Right here. That means greater than or equal to. And the tram attendant will allow no more than 60 people in the tram. A tram is kind of like a train. So the number of people is less than or equal to 60. So no more than, if you have a phrase that it says no more than, it means less than or equal to. And that is less than or equal to. So on page 2, we're going to graph each inequality. So it says n is less than, right there, 3. 3 is not a solution, so when we are graphing this on a number line, because it does not include 3, but it's everything less than 3, you draw an open circle at 3. And then you're going to shade the line to the left of 3. Okay, so we drew the open circle at 3 and everything less than 3 with an arrow, because it's going to keep going, anything less than 3. So that's just a simple inequality, and the next example is a compound inequality. So you have m is less than or equal to -2. So you are going to have a closed circle because it's less than or equal to. See the one symbol of the equals underneath the less than? So you're going to have a closed circle at 2, and your arrow is going to continue everything less than 2. Or greater than 1. So because it's not equal, it's not greater than or equal, it's just greater than, you're going to have an open circle and have everything greater than 1. So this is how we're going to graph a compound inequality. You're going to do it on 2 separate lines, and then you're going to combine it on the same line. So the solutions of m is less than or equal to -2 or m is greater than 1 are combined on the same line. So we're going to write an inequality for the following situation. There are at most 10 gallons of gas in the tank. So at most, so there is only 10 gallons at the most, is going to be written such as gallons of gas is less than or equal to 10. Okay, and on the next line, you're going to graph the inequality P is less than or equal to 2. And because it's less than or equal, you're going to use a closed circle at the number 2, and your arrow is going to point anything less than 2. And the last one, we're going to graph a compound inequality. So you're going to have 5 is greater than G, but not equal to, so it's an open circle. And G is greater than or equal to -3. So 5 is greater than G with an open circle, but it's also G is greater than or equal to. So it's going to be everything in between these two numbers, such as we did on the number line below. So I am going to upload this video separately, and then I am going to do the next lesson and upload that also for you guys. Okay, so be on the lookout for the second video, and it's going to have the next worksheet. And if you have any questions, take some notes on your paper and be sure to ask me. We're going to work on this in class tomorrow and Friday.